Only knocked out in his last fight, but gave up on the stool in his last fight. So that lack of confidence, that memory is still there. Chambers' job, while trying to avoid any TNT from Peter, is to bring him back to that memory.
Did not continue after 8 against Vitaly Klitschko. Meanwhile, Chambers, the lone loss in his career, that decision loss to Alexander Povetkin, where he completely came off the gas pedal over in Germany. Lost a decision back in January 2008. 3 straight wins, 2 of them by knockout, against fairly pedestrian competition.
So in all fairness, we've been talking about Peter being so overweight, the heaviest of his career. We should mention that Chambers, just look at that body. There's a little extra luggage around that midsection. Chambers coming in the heaviest weight in over 4 years.
Just 1 pound away from the heaviest weight of his career. We often talked about that with Eddie Chambers when we had him when he was starting his career. And we would make the comment many times when he was coming in at 210 pounds. Boy, oh boy, Teddy, you look at him, we would say stuff like, couldn't he just lose that extra 10, 15 pounds and be a cruiserweight? He kind of has that build, doesn't he?
Yes, he does. He doesn't really look real swell, you know, real athletic as a heavyweight. At least not a heavyweight in these dimensions in the 220s. You'd rather see him probably around 215 because of that extra luggage. But one thing I like seeing, I said it in the fight plan, you know, I would have liked to see Chambers use his legs. I didn't think he would. He's using his legs a little bit early on. Not running around like Ali, but just enough, which I think is a good thing, to keep Peter off balance, keep him from getting set. And there's some good news for Peter, a little bit. He's going to the body a little bit, and that's where he should go, that soft body of Chambers. Take the air out of the tires a little bit.
Chambers able to land a right hand moments ago.
Just watch Chambers. He likes to cover, and he likes to pull back from the waist. Really yank himself. I mean, just pull his upper body back. Doesn't see how he does that,
He just did it there.
Yeah, he doesn't use his legs with that. He just pulls his upper body back. Now, it's up to Peter to step with him because he's in the path of the punch, and he's really not in position to punch when he does that. But if Peter doesn't step with him, see, he pulls back again.
Coming up against that right hand of Sam Peter. In the lead up to this fight, Eddie Chambers said, I'm going to use my legs just enough against Peter. I won't run. I will get some shots in.
Well, I think it's smart for him because for the most part, Chambers usually stands right in front and just tries to block everything. That can be dangerous with a guy with big power like Peter. You might not block everything, it'll get behind the gloves, something to get in. But Chambers is not just blocking everything. He's using those legs, again, to frustrate maybe Peter a little bit. Keep him from using that power. And again, just watch Chambers when he pulls back. He'll pull back from the waist. And what he'll try to do is make Peter fall short. And then, of course, later on, come back.
End of round 1 of our heavyweight main event. Stay with us. Right next door to the Staples Center is the magnificent Nokia Theater. It's where we are tonight for Friday Night Fights. Opened up in October 2007. Been home to the Emmys and the ESPYs, and this is the first live boxing here at this grand facility. And a big crowd has come out for Sam Peter and Eddie Chambers. LA, a great fight town. You saw the numbers that Margarito Mosley did, the recent trend of fights getting away from the sterile environment of the casino game and getting to the cities that love the fight game, such as LA. Round number 2 of our main event. Sam Peter, Eddie Chambers. In the first round, Chambers was 9 of 31 on total punches. Peter was 8 of 52.
Again, Chambers early on doing a pretty good job of using his legs a little bit to not just block, but keep Peter out of range. But what he has to do is make sure he comes back with that offense, because what he wants to do is make Peter pay too. You know, start to break him down a little bit, because if Peter has proved anything off his last fight, Joe, it is that he can be broken down, that his will can be evaporated.
Stayed on the stool against Vitaly Klitschko, did not come out and continue, and lost his belt.
So
now
in other
switching
words,
sides for a moment is Chambers and firing off that right hand.
In other words, Chambers needs a nice mix of smartness, defense, but you got to come back with that offense if you're going to break this big guy down. And right now, Chambers going defensive, maybe a little too long. Needs to move those hands at the right time.
So you don't want to give away rounds.
No, you don't. And you don't want to allow it to be a pace where the overweight Peter doesn't pay a price.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Where he can coast along and you're just surviving, but you're not putting something on him. You want to put something on him. Make that gas tank start to go down a little bit towards E.
Tripling up that jab now is Chembers. Yeah, you got to pick up the pace against Sam Peter and make it so that when you get to the back half of this fight, the advantage is with you.
Yeah, because you want his mindset to be, after 3, 4, 5 rounds, to be frustrated and worried. I'm not in shape. Oh, my goodness. I don't know if I got enough left in the tank, but if it's a slow pace, you're not going to have that mindset in Peter. And you must have it.
There's a right hand from Peter as Chembers stopped his circling to the left for just a moment, fired off with a 1-2, and Peter was quick to return fire.
You know, there's misperceptions. You can't judge a book by the cover. And I'll tell you what the misperceptions are about these guys a little bit. You look at Peter, you know, the bigger guy, you say, well, Chambers, fast Eddie Chambers. He's got the quicker hands. You know what? I'd argue with that. Peter has deceivingly quick hands, although right there,
yeah, could work that fast left there from Chambers.
Makes me look like maybe my argument should go south somewhere.
Your point is sound. He delivers power, but it's not that big, thudding, deliberate power. It does come with some flash and speed.
He doesn't move his hands a lot, Peter. He's lazy. But when he does move those hands, he has quickness in him.
He does.
But I'll tell you another misperception. Peter has a 19-inch neck. Looks like a fire hydrant. But he's been on the floor. You know, that even though you think of a neck like that, you say, well, you're not going to be able to hurt that chin. Well, that chin has been hurt.
Pick up the pace here at the end of round 2. More to come.
Time! Are you in
on your mobile phone? Just go to ESPN.